Right now, it is time to bring in Pat Pagano as we continue on with this ho hum forecast. Good morning, Pat.
That's exactly what it is. There's nothing as far as storms in our immediate forecast. Snow showers passing through this morning, then this afternoon, partly cloudy and windy, only in the low 30s. So a cold day with the wind. Tonight, 10 to 15. For tomorrow, sun and clouds, mid 30s. Some sun and breezy, low 40s Friday, and then the weekend will be a sunny one, but a cold wind. We're only going to be around 30 degrees over the weekend. So definitely, a little bit more like January, but it could be far worse at this time of the year. Some people may say it could be far better, but not much. So I think this is pretty good weather overall.
Well, I was just talking about it when I was talking about the local ski areas. It has been a season where it's cold enough for them to make lots of snow in the evening, and it hasn't been so cold that it's absolutely hard and really horrible to make snow. But during the day, it's stayed cool enough where son of a gun. The snow doesn't really go away that much because the sun isn't that strong. So it's worked out to be good for everybody. People who like to ski, people who like to run the ski areas, and also our good friends at the Salisbury Winter Sports Association, because in a little under a month they will be featuring their 95th or 96th annual ski jumps, Pat.
That's great.
And that's not continuous because they did pause for the war. World War II. So it's not continuous, but anyway. So that's that.
That's great. And I'm assuming that you are going to be watching the inaugural or the inauguration.
Oh yeah, I'm going to watch it. I watch it. I watch it whenever a new president is elected. I watch it, no matter whether I voted for them or not. Simply
Right.
because it is really something to watch it, and the peaceful transfer of power. That really is nice to watch that. So yes, I will be there watching it at 12 noon if I get home in time. Yes, but if not, even if I get home a little after that, I'll watch it because it's history, and
Yeah.
but
Yep.
I bet you there'll be a lot of Americans watching it to see if anything happens. That's the only reason they're going to watch it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Who wants to see that?
Well, Americans, Pat,
Yeah, I know.
hey, my father, when I was a kid, we used to watch. Remember demolition derbies?
Yes.
The most wicked demolition derby was the figure eight, where cars had to pass, and it just created. And my father used to sit there and look at my grandmother and myself, because my grandmother and I watched it, and he'd say, "I don't understand Americans. They want to watch something where people crash." He goes, "I just don't understand it."
Really.
But with social media and with everything else, there's a certain amount of people out there that get their kicks. Wow, let's see what's going to happen. Where most of us like to watch it because it is a major part of our Constitution and our democracy, and it's fun and interesting to see how it works out, whether it's Republican or Democrat. That gives that speech. Like I said, I enjoy it for the historical aspect. I even watched when Donald Trump was put in, simply because it's part of the process that makes America one of the most unique countries ever to be on the face of the earth. So it's important, and more Americans should watch it.
I think so.
So
I definitely think so.
now, with that being said, on the way in
Yeah.
this morning,
Yeah.
I hear now that there's so many different variants to the coronavirus.
Really.
That there's like the UK variant, the Australian variant, but then there's variants within the variants. And what they did when they made this vaccine, all these companies, these vaccines, when you get the vaccines that you have to get the first shot and then the booster shot, but then there's other vaccinations that are coming out where it's just one. The reason they're not worried is they've made this vaccine intense. It's a lot stronger, and everybody feels that it can handle the variants. But what scientists are saying are that we have to get as many people vaccinated as soon as possible, because right now they can control the variant. But the more people and the longer it takes to vaccinate, the more the variant can change. And so it's pretty interesting, coming and listening to that, and I'm not scheduled yet. I have to wait till they tell us that I can. I'm at 68. I just missed the cutoff for 67. I can't. I mean, for 75. Now they're going to go down to 65, and they're going to let us know when that happens in Connecticut, and then I'll go get my vaccination. So.
My sister was telling me, this is COVID paranoia, sister. She's ridiculous. But she was telling me that she heard about a Brazil variant that is even worse than the UK.
They're all slightly different, and it's not a question of being worse, because the difference with right now with the variant is that it's just easier to pass around and it's easier to catch. It doesn't appear to be more deadly. The death rates are basically staying pretty much the same, but the fact that more people can get it quicker and easier means that more people are going to die, simply because the more people that get it, even though let's say I think it's 1.2 or 1.5% of the population has on the average has died from COVID-19. So, but if 20,000 people get it a day as opposed to 5,000 people a day, the averages are against you. Then they go up. But so the whole thing is if you wear a mask and you wash your hands and you social distance, you shouldn't worry about the variant any more than you do the regular one.
Right. Well, she brings out to me the point, and it's very valid. She says the problem with this virus is that it's unpredictable. She said, there are people who are getting COVID who are, not compromised at all and are getting very, very sick, and some dying. There are people who are compromised who are not getting it in any way, shape, or form, and don't even show symptoms.
Well,
she said, so yeah, and I said, well, it's like it's an invisible thing. You don't know what's going on. I said, but Linda, stop monopolizing your life with COVID. Think about other things. I know it's all around us and it's in the news and everything like that, but you can't live your life every single minute thinking about COVID.
No, you just do what you normally should do. You put your mask on when you're around other people, you social distance, you wash your hands. And you know what? People forget the flu. No, it's not nearly as deadly, the flu, but
right.
The flu isn't a perfect vaccine, because the flu mutates and changes.
Right.
So COVID is no different in that aspect, except for the fact that we don't know the long-term effects if you get it. That's
right.
The thing. The long-term effects, we just don't know if it affects other parts of your body after you've gotten it and recovered from it. So, I mean, I agree. I mean, do the smart things that you do. Like, I live my life like I normally live. Do I go to restaurants in the evening? No. But I stopped doing that because I need to sleep anyways. But I come to work. I go home. Every once in a while I go grocery shopping. I go to the gas station, get gas, buy lottery tickets. You got to live.
You have to, right. You said it correctly. You have to do the things that are necessary. Don't go out of your way to do things that are not unnecessary, because that's when you're going to be asking for trouble. But I think what concerned her is her sister-in-law is a nurse. And about a week ago, they were outside talking to their neighbor or neighbors. And they weren't wearing masks. And the entire family came down with COVID, even the kids. Now, she said that, ironically, that her and the husband and the daughter, had the symptoms, and she's a nurse. But the two sons, even though they tested positive, no symptoms at all in the same family. So she says, so that's what makes it scary. I said, yeah. I said, but thank God they're all okay. She goes, yeah, they're all okay. I said, well, focus in on that. like you just said, Marshall, it's only a fraction of the population that really gets seriously ill from it and unfortunately die. I mean, we had over 400,000 people die in a year,
I
in
mean,
less than a year.
and that's horrible. But you have to look at it. You just can't. You have to live your life and do what you can do. And if you follow the rules and something happens and you get it, it's just bad luck. It's what it is. I mean, you can't let it dominate your life. Just like our schools have stayed in session here. Sometimes they've gone to remote learning. They update us constantly about cases and how they go to remote learning, why they're not. And the schools are operating around here. No, okay. It's a little convoluted. It's a little tough on the students to,
Right. But it's working.
they're still going to school and they're learning. So we just have to calm down and say, hey, you know what? Let's do what we have to do and just get through this. And let's not just lock ourselves away forever. You know.
I mean, yeah, we just have to. And I told her, I said, Linda, just remember, all of this is in the hands of our Creator. And He definitely knows what is going to happen. And there's nothing you, me, or anybody can do to change that. It's all in the books. That's how I feel. It's in the books. Not that you want to push forward again, and you don't want to. You don't want to chance anything. You just, like you said, just follow the rules and be vigilant, and you should be fine.
All right. With that said, I'm going to follow the rules, and I'm going to go home today. I'm going to get a little bit of popcorn to my side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get myself a nice
Yeah.
diet soda, and I'm going to sit there and either choke on my popcorn or eat my popcorn.
Right.
One
Well,
or the
hopefully
other.
you're going to be eating it,
One or
and you
the
won't be choking on it. I know what you mean by that.
You
Yeah.
never, you never can tell. But it's one of the few times I'm going to watch news today, and that's because it's the what we.
Historical.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
historical. I mean, I get up in the morning, I have to watch the news. I come in the morning, I have to gather the news, so I'm exposed to it that way. But other than that, I normally stay away from it. But this is historical, and I want to be part of it. So there you go.
Yep. And there you go. Well, enjoy it. Everybody else be safe, and see you tomorrow morning.
And we'll talk about a big snowstorm in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. All right. Maybe.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Pat Pagano this morning in the Weather Center with a check on our tri-state forecast here on Robin Hood Radio.